Welcome to this Teesside Rising project, Dominic JP Nelson-Ashley. So we've got quite a bit of ground to cover.
In 10 minutes, let's get rocking.
Yeah, where are we going to start?
Okay, let's start with poetry, yeah?
Yeah.
Seems like the obvious place because this year I curated and edited an anthology of Northeast-based Black and Asian poets. And that went down very well. Got a lot of traction, as they say.
Brilliant. So is that like Teesside and
yeah, basically the Northeast, like Teesside, you know. So like Patience was in there.
Nice.
There's a few other people that you know, because you go to poetry events. I go to poetry events. How many times have you seen a person of color perform, or a Black person of color perform, who isn't me, and you've gone like, wow, that's great, and then they disappear and you never see them again? So I went, wow, you're great. And then I realized that, because every time they're in the area, I chat to them, and I made a list. And then I had about 27 names down. I thought, okay, that's 27 people. If I just say to them, hey, give me a poem, I'll do the rest. You know, because I've got experience now of publishing, I've got the MA, so I can put things together. I know enough people to have another voice, apart from my editorial style, just go like to double check. And I mean, I'm simplifying it, but that's basically what I did. I was in regular touch with these 25 writers, and you know, some people needed support, some people needed mentoring, some people needed to kick up the arse, like all poets. It's across the whole range. And so and also I wanted the anthology. I didn't just want the anthology to be like one poem by one poet and then that's it, another poem. So it was an opportunity for the poets to like, okay, get a meaty chunk in there. So like, you know, we've got poets who've got, you know, 6 or 7 poems in there. And so, yeah, and the whole reason why I did it was to give, it wasn't a money making thing, so that these poets could raise their profile. Because my whole thing was like, okay, I've been in that position. You approach a school and you say, you want to do some work. And they go like, who are you? Where's your book? Right? So that's got, regardless of anything to do with how good you are. Yeah? So it's a case like, right now, they approach the schools, they go like, okay, here's the book. Look at the quality. It's all good. Pow. Speaking about issues that, you know, normally don't get talked about. So there was a poem in there by a woman called Zuva, and it was about her experience with her hair. Now, that resonated with me. I got a Black daughter, hair. I mean, I got no hair, but the poem resonated with me. So it's like, I know for a fact that if she sent that poem into like a traditional, you know, white middle class publisher, they will not understand it. But I know that's a powerful piece. So the first one in there. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So that's me as an editor. Apart from that, with this lockdown and everything else getting cancelled, I just got my act together and got some of my own books out there. So right now, you can get 12 of my poetry collections. That's it. The big 12.
12.
12. There's 12 out there.
I've got some collecting still to do then.
That's right. So it's like, if we're talking about the poetry, that's where it's at right now. I think I'm on a good trajectory with that. You know.
So for beginners into your poetry, what books would you recommend? I
would recommend the first one, Original Soundtrack. It's a nice ease in. You know, it's smooth. You know, I wrote it for my son, who was 18 at the time, and it's all about how I got to be where I am today, like all the experiences that I went through, some of the good, some of the bad. It's almost like a toolkit of how to survive as a Black teenager in the UK. So, you know, so there's 2 books. That'd be the first one. And then if you're gonna get another one, I'd go for my latest one, which I wrote for my daughter, which is called Wide Awake in Dreamland. And they're 2 different people. Like my son's training to be a doctor. My daughter's going to be a lawyer, and they've got 2 very different brains, you know. And this one is much more hard hitting. It's all about the Black experience, and I hit it hard. You know, so yeah, so that's it. So if you want to go in gently, original soundtrack, and then once you've read it, go like, okay, I'm ready now for some more denser material. I'd go Wide Awake in Dreamland, because that is all about, because they're both specifically about the Black experience.
Yeah. So was that poem you performed the other night at Shanty? Is that the poem to your daughter? Is that an old one, or is that in that new collection?
That's in the new collection.
Right, brilliant.
So yeah, the two that I did. One was called Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Which is all about, and I think a lot of people, I mean, it's from the Black experience, but it's a very universal experience from like a parent. Your job is to just drive your kids about. And do they appreciate it? No. You know, so it's things like, oh, there's no air conditioning. Well, wind down the window then. at least you don't have to walk on foot.
Back in my day, we weren't allowed to, like,
yeah, at least exactly.
folks to be smoking. We weren't allowed to open the windows.
So yeah, and also there's another poem in there, in the Wide Awake in Dreamland. Also, there's the other aspect. If people we're in tough times, so if people haven't got a lot of cash, I put a lot of poetry on my website. And there's loads on there. You know, so if you're feeling a bit stuffed the cash and you still want to enjoy what I do, just go to my website, read stuff for free. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you're kind enough to let me play some of your online recordings at the Red Room and
yeah, it's all good.
The things that I do. So, but hopefully people will hear that and think, go out and get those books.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So 10 years of Dominique.
10 years of Dominique, yeah. I mean, I started the label in 2010. The first release from the label came out in 2011, Good Voodoo Music. And I thought it was time to do a retrospective, because I'm the kind of person I'll just keep going and going and going and going and going. And then over the years, people have asked me to do live performances. And because it's very like Afro house, is a very electronic club sound, most of the time I start the songs on the guitar, so I can do them acoustically, but it's not really what I'm going for. And then, DJing right now, there's no clubs. I'd like to, the open air festival's more my kind of thing. I've had a 13-piece band before, rocked it, stuff like Music Port, that'd be great to do, when they have their world music DJ sets, great. But so as nobody's going out, it's like, staying in is the new going out. What I did, like all the visuals that I would use for my performances, I just use them to create videos and just put the tracks up online. So there's, about 40 tracks that showcase the various styles of music I've done in the last 10 years. So there's a few ballads on there. Yeah, I could do ballads, it's all right. I do some ballads. I do like the club friendly Afro house, stuff, 4 to the floor, masses of percussion, instrumentals, got some me singing on there. And I've done some stuff with like a live band as well. So yeah, it's all good. And the visuals are stunning. Well, I mean, I'm a bit biased, But,
no point putting stuff out there if you don't, have faith.
Exactly. But actually, there is some stuff that I don't like that I've done, but I'm not the best judge, because there's many times that I've done a track and I've gone like, I'm not really feeling it, and it's the audience that responds. Because as a creative person, all you can do is create, and somebody else is in how they interpret it is how they interpret it, and what they get out of it is what they get out of it. I mean, how many times have you been singing a song, and then when you read the actual words, what you were singing was not what was written.
Death of the writer, isn't it?
Yeah. So there we go. It's all good. I just create. I put it out there. If people enjoy it, they enjoy it. If they don't, it's all right.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's what I mean. This is one of the kind of questions that I've been asking everybody. That's quite been one of the most interesting is this idea of other than the idea of at the end of it having a poetry book or putting on a play or whatever, what the creative arts means and what the creative arts does in and of itself, without that idea of an exhibition at the end of it and the
That's easy.
it plays in society.
That's easy. Without creativity, there is no culture. And without no culture, there is no society. All right, let me run as a thought experiment, right? You get up, right? You wake up, you're in a gray room, no colors. You get dressed in gray clothes. You go to your workplace, and on your journey to work, it's just gray. And you're in a gray office. The walls are gray. The chair you're sitting on is gray. There is no color. There's not even a clock, because the clock is, if there's a clock there, it's been designed by somebody. Yeah? How productive do you think you'd be? No, nobody would be productive. You know, and then you could get somebody shouting at you, but that would not increase your productivity, because there's nothing to like spark you. There's nothing to like keep the brain matter firing. So culture, everything that you get up out of bed. Somebody's designed the bed. Somebody's made the bed. Yeah, you choose the color of your sheets, the quality of the sheets, or whatever. You know, you've got pictures about in your house or wherever you're living. Yeah, that is all. That has been a creative spark of somebody. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's it in a nutshell. So when people say like, oh, creativity, what's it all about? Everybody is creative, and it is essential to life. No creativity, there's no life. It's that simple.
Yeah. And I think strangely enough, at a time where the arts seems to being immensely undervalued in one way, it seems to have also gained a lot of recognition in another way. Because let's face it, it's what we're watching on TV or the books, music that's keeping us sane during these
the people
times.
Basically, right, the people who do not value it are the people who cannot monetize it. And it's as simple as that, because they do not understand. They, you know, what's that phrase? They know the cost of everything but the value of nothing. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, but this is what does my head in, because the arts brings so much to the economy. It brings more to the economy than agriculture. It brings more to the economy than aviation, automation, and the automobile industry combined.
Yeah,
and
but I know that.
A hobby. Why is this, Dominic?
Right, it's quite simple. Remember, this is me with my careers advisor head on now. Been in the game 30 years. Right. Basically, right, it's because creativity, everybody can do it. Right? That's a problem. Right? See, not everybody could drive, not everybody could fly a plane, not everybody could design a train, but everybody could do something creative. Right? And also, creativity, you're most creative when you're a child, right? And then gradually it's get you know, thrust out of you somehow or whatever, you know. So people, when they get older, right, because everybody can do it to a certain degree, right? So because everybody can do it, it's not valid, because the thing about you monetize something if it's like rare, you know, diamonds are rare, you know, gold is rare, hard to get, you know, so, you know, a Banksy picture, whatever, is rare. So, you know, that's how you can monetize it that way. But because everybody can do creativity to a certain degree, right? They go like, oh, right. But then, and then when people get older, they forget about it, or they do, you know, they live too long in a gray wall or a gray room up there somewhere, over there somewhere, you know, and they forget. And then all they can remember is like, oh, creativity, they could do a bit of it. Yeah, it was easy. But with anything, to get professional at it, you've got to put the hours in. Like you would have, like, you know, when the chance of saying people retrain, what nonsense is that? If you're a ballet dancer, you don't know the aggravation, the stress, the strain, the commitment, and the cost it takes to be that kind of level.
Absolutely, yeah. And what was quite interesting is, like, me and everyone I know who filled in the National Careers Service. Yeah. Questionnaire, or got told to retrain in the creative arts.
Yeah. Do you know what? I filled that in myself because, like, you know, I've been a careers advisor since 1993. Yeah. So I thought, you know what? I'll put it in, see how good this thing is, because I know how these things work. I've designed some of these kind of programs myself, so I put in my stuff. Yeah. what did they come up with? I thought the first thing that should have come up would be careers advisor. You'd think, wouldn't it be number one? All right. First thing that came up was like a fitness instructor. And it's only when I had to put like answer some more supplemental questions it came up with like a suggestion like, oh, I could be a careers advisor. I thought that one. People who write these programs, man, they don't know what they're doing after time.
We've got some corkers like clown.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Fairground ride attendant, grave.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Listen, it's on the job training, but I'm not getting paid. So that's why I'm going out tonight. Grave digging.
Right. So another question, which I'm pretty sure I know the answer to. Has it always been this way, Dom? Were you, as you say, we were our most creative when we're kids? Has that just kept flowing for you since the start?
No. When I was younger, I had a feeling of being creative, wanting to be creative, but I didn't know how to verbalize it, and I didn't know if I could actually do anything with it. So, and also, my parents are not from the UK. Like my dad's from Africa, my mum's from the Caribbean. You know, they came over here because, you know, to improve their lives. You know, my mum came to join the National Health Service, etc. So there were, at that particular time, there was no prominent black writers. You know, my dad was going like, being a musician? No, I didn't put all these hours for you to be a musician. No way. You know, and
yeah, well, my dad was from the less exotic West Midlands, but
yeah. But you know the stuff.
The idea of being an artist was
it's not happening. You know. So my dad was an industrial chemist, my mum midwife. So, and I was good at sciences, so I ended up doing a biochemistry degree. You know, and then I started working for I was training to be a tax inspector. You know, so I was just like, you know, we're talking like I was good at maths. You know, don't tell anyone. Make sure I don't see this video and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I was like, all along, I was like, science, maths. And then I'd always written, but it was like that had taken like a back seat. It's just like something I did as just for my, not even a hobby, just for my own benefit. But then I've been one of those people, you know, I go to see many different businesses. I've seen so many HR departments in my job as a careers advisor and as a tax inspector. I've seen how miserable people are. Then it's all about the work-life balance. Yeah. And so when I was doing the tax inspecting thing, I made a lot of money. I wear 3-piece suits, all that kind of stuff, you know, handmade shoes and all that kind of thing. But I was poor. Why was I poor? Because I was spending more money than I was making to make myself happy. So then you just go like, do you know what? If I just did stuff that I enjoyed, I would actually be richer. Because there's no point in bringing in X amount of, you know, tens of thousands of pounds, and you're spending 20 thousands of pounds, you know? Yeah,
absolutely. You kind of realize how transactional it is.
Like, yeah, absolutely. So
time
and
my time, and I'll have less money, but they're going to be off my books are going to be far more balanced.
Yeah. So, and that's why I got this award from contribution to the community, because I've been around and done so many different things, and I understand all those struggles about the work-life balance, creativity, having to bring money in, etc. I've been there, and I'm black, so you know I understand all those pressures as well. You know, and I'm at a certain age so that I can, you know, talk to the parents, talk to the grandparents, talk to the kids, because I understand every aspect. Yeah. So it's like that really, because I've been around. And I can tell it like it is and say like, okay, well, I understand you as a parent, you've got this particular attitude, and you know, you're of the opinion that the only jobs are available they should do is lawyer, engineer, accountant, blah, 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 because I understand why they would say that. Then say like on the other side, okay, there's a whole range of other options available now. But you know, the routes are not as simple in the creative arts. You have to design your own. But then also, to get anywhere, you have to be very, very good. You have to be dedicated. I mean, the problem is, I see a lot of creative people, they do not treat it like a job. So me, I do.
You're up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you know, I've been taking it easy a bit, so I've been getting up at 5. know what I mean? I'm trying to chill out a bit. But no, but seriously, I've got, it is a job. So therefore I keep job type hours, and so it's a case of like, you have to deliver. So, okay, sometimes the inspiration isn't there. It's just about the perspiration. Here we are. Simple as that,
Absolutely.
really.
Or you do what a lot of artists do, and like, I still have roles as accountants and assistants and stuff.
Yeah.
That keeps, I've always had that to fall back on, or it's been my main source of income, because I've always been conscious of the difficulties of becoming a professional artist, but also not just not wanting any interference from I'm not very good at compromising on.
Yeah, well, I understand that as well. So we have a similar background. If let me give you I had Bell's palsy, which like half my face stopped working. It looked like I was permanently drunk, even though I haven't had a pint in years. So, but to recuperate, I was on these drugs, and they helped heal my face. But the problem with these drugs is that they completely killed my creativity. All I could do was tidy stuff. So my studio was really tidy, but I made no music. And that was what I imagined I actually got insight into how my life would be without creativity. And I was just going like, well, I'm just gonna have to work in an office. And that was like a part of me had died. And then as I gradually came off these tablets, like my creativity would come back. It was very, very weird. And then, so I appreciate my creativity even more now. Yeah, from that kind of experience.
Yeah, brilliant. It's always an absolute delight. I'm really looking forward to just being able to get out there. I mean, it was lovely to go to Shanty the other night, and Julie does such a good job down there, keeping safe and distanced, and it felt a bit like the night of poetry and revolution. It was brilliant performances all round, and I've got some recordings of you. So.
Yeah,
they're a bit far away because I was at the back. Right, well, I guess we should leave. I think we may have overrun 10 minutes, but you have so many hats. Dom, it's been a true pleasure, and let's raise a glass when we next can.
Absolutely.
Take care, mister.
And you.